What's up everyone, Sebastian here with Press Start Seb. This week's been huge for Zelda information and Final Fantasy 15 information, so I thought I'd make one video to kind of cram everything in and let you guys know what I think about all the news that's been released. Before I start, I want to let you guys know if you stick around to the end of the video, you'll see the featured comments from the video before. It's a new feature in this channel where you drop a comment in the comment section, and if I like it or if it's relevant, if I don't like it, no matter what, you might get featured in the next video. So be sure to stick around for that. The 30th anniversary of Final Fantasy just passed, and there was a huge info dump on a lot of things about Final Fantasy 15. The first of them is these fucking really cool Power Ranger suits that give you 30 minutes of invulnerability. You're completely invincible, can't take any damage, and it increases Noctis's fishing ability, which is huge, because I think that's the last trophy I need for my platinum, is to max out Noctis's fishing. But there's a caveat to that, so although you get your 30 minutes of invulnerability, of invincibility, you can only use it once in a 24-hour window. So if you use it today, those 30 minutes pass, you can't use it to 24 hours later, which is kind of cool. I see that they're trying to kind of make these different ways where people can experience the games differently. I don't necessarily think this is needed, but like, will I use it? Yeah, I'll use it. I'll fuck around with it from time to time, and especially for the fishing feature. And kind of the big piece that came out from the event was that episode Gladio DLC got a release date of March 28th. Now, it's a lot sooner than what I was expecting, and because of that, I'm super stoked. And even more surprising is they released the Prompto release date being June of this year, June 2017. I'm not sure if I'm remembering this correctly, but I had thought that Prompto's was supposed to be last, and Ignis would go in between Gladio and Prompto. If that's the case, and it still is last, that's sick, because then Ignis will fall somewhere between the end of March and maybe the end of June, which is honestly much sooner than I was expecting. They showed like 3 still images of the DLC. I didn't really look too much into those because I don't want any spoilers. I want to go into this completely fresh. We do know there's a Final Fantasy staple boss fight that's going to be incorporated into this DLC. It will very likely be how Gladio gets the scars across his face when he rejoins with your party halfway through Final Fantasy. I did make a video about all my predictions of what the Final Fantasy 15 DLC is going to entail, and I'll link that in the description below should you care. So that's kind of it for Final Fantasy. That's kind of all I wanted to say. I wanted to move on to Zelda now. And so the really cool thing about Zelda, I'm kind of conflicted with this because I'm such a huge Zelda fan and I love Nintendo games so much. I'm like, oh, this is fucking cool. But if any other game announced this, I'd be like, so what? So Anuma came out and said that there will be no loading screens in the overworld of Breath of the Wild. Now your first initial reaction is like, holy shit, no loading screens in the whole overworld? That's insane. Except every open world game does that now. Nintendo's weird where it kind of gets away with these incorporating things that seem to be a big deal that everyone else is doing. Like, Link now has a jump button. It's like, well, yeah, almost every game has a jump button. There's now voice over work. Every game's got voice over work now, almost. And now, no loading screens in the overworld. Like, yeah, that's kind of a staple. That being said, it sounds really negative, but I'm so fucking, no loading screens, are you kidding me? That's sick! So there's a lot to be excited about, just the expansiveness of the world, the fact that there is no loading screens. They've shown that there is going to and from shrines. I'm not sure how it's going to work in terms of entering and exiting buildings. If it's going to be like a traditional Zelda, where Link goes to turn the door, and there's a little like fade to black, and then he opens the door on the other side, where it's like a little brief split second of a loading screen. So that's really exciting that they were able to do that. I'm so excited to play this game. It cannot come soon enough. I'm consistently looking at my calendar and just, another day closer, another day closer. And the next piece of information I wanted to discuss was with an interview with Jar the Completionist, another YouTuber. He had said that, that it'll be impossible to 100% the game in a week. So, if you guys don't know, Jar the Completionist is known for playing one game a week to 100% completion. And during his interview, they with Miyamoto and Aonuma, they had said that that is not the case. You won't be able to do that. If the game really is that expansive and that in depth in terms of side quests and just all the things you can do, that's unbelievable. That's way more content than I had ever anticipated, and that just gets me just woo! I'm through the moon. Considering like I'm just kind of in the tail end of playing Final Fantasy. I'm almost at 100 hours. So if I can get that kind of experience in Zelda, where I can just sink that, I assume I'll have no problem sinking that amount of time in it. And the last piece of information for Zelda that I kind of wanted to discuss was that they had said you can go and fight the final boss the moment you start the game up. Link's in his gachis, his little underpants, and you can just run up and fight him however you want. And you can possibly beat him. It's going to be hard, but you can definitely do it. And it makes me think of interesting how the story's going to work, because they said at any point in time in the game you can go and fight the final boss. So like I don't understand how the story progression is going to work in terms of it's just like a story based upon getting stronger, which will make when you do fight the final boss easier, I guess. I'm not really sure. I'm really excited for it regardless. I'm excited to hear what you guys think about the DLC, the Power Rangers Exos Magitech armor in Final Fantasy. I'm also super stoked to hear your opinions of the no loading screens in Zelda and being able to beat the boss at any point in time you want, anytime. Let me know all in the comment section. Hit me up with your best comments. You'll be featured in the next video, which is, come on. Yeah, you want it. You want to be featured in the next video. Alright, I'm not going to break down this week's comments from my last video. These comments are from the good, the bad, and the ugly of the Nintendo Switch. I kind of broke down all the things that I thought were really, really good, things that they sold me on, the kind of things that were shaky, and the things that are just really bad. So Karski says, nice video, mate. I can't wait to buy the Switch. I'm kind of on the fences still. So this seems to be a general theme that I'm seeing from a lot of people that I've been talking to, where they want it, but they're on the fence of if they should buy it at launch. And the way I kind of look at it is, I'm going to buy it at some point, inevitably. A lot of people are saying, oh, I'm going to wait for Mario. But if you're intending to play Zelda then anyway, you might as well buy it now when you can get your hands on it, and you can maybe get a pre-order. Play Zelda, then you got Splatoon, then you got Mario Kart, and then eventually, boom, Mario's going to be out there. And then so you've had it, and you have been able to enjoy some experiences. Waiting doesn't necessarily inflate anything. You just get to play the games that you may want sooner. And whether it sits on the shelf at the store or it sits on the shelf at your house, I guess you'll have it. But I totally get what people are saying that. And the Heavy Metal Zombie says, yep, I agree with most of your thoughts. Honestly, I hope they have a Switch XL or something, because from what I'm hearing, it's tiny. That's a really, really cool thought. I never even thought of that, because they have done that with the 3DS. They make the regular 3DS is kind of small, and then the 3DS XL. I'll be kind of upset if they do that, because I would obviously prefer the bigger screen. But a really cool thought. Honestly, it hadn't occurred to me. Really dig this comment. And be sure to leave your comments below, and it can be featured in next week. Don't forget to subscribe, guys, as always. Thank you. See ya.